Alright, so for question 8, part 4, the last question, we are required to find the area of the rhombus. Okay, so for this type of question, for A maths wise, we always use the tie the shoelace method. Okay, so let me teach you how to tie the shoelace. Okay, so first thing first, whenever you tie the shoelace, you must ensure one thing is that you go anti-clockwise. Okay, so after that, second, you must ensure that when you start, let's just say you start at point P. Okay, you must end at the same point P. Right, so you start at the same point, start and end at same point. Okay, so these are the two important things to follow whenever you are tying the shoelace. Okay, so now let's start to tie the shoelace. Okay, so first thing first, maybe I start from point P. So I start from point P, then after that I rotate anti-clockwise, right? Okay, so the next point will be point S, R, Q, then I need to go back to point P. Okay, so now I write down. Okay, so the thing about tying shoelace is you put a half first, then after that you put something like 2 lines like that, right? Okay, so now you put the -3 because I start from point P, so -3 first, then you put +5 here. Okay, now I move on to point S, right? So point S is -4, then you put +3. Okay, next I go to point R, so it's 3, then you put the 1 here. Then after that, next you go to point Q because it's anti-clockwise, right? So it's 4, 9. So the x coordinate is on top, the y coordinate is at the bottom. Right? Then you go back to where you start. So you go back to point P, which is -3 and +5 here. Okay, so that's important. Okay, so after writing down all these, right? Okay, so now you tie the shoelace. Means that you'll notice I start from here, so I draw one arrow. So each arrow represents a multiplication sign, right? So 3 you multiply with 9, 4 you multiply with +5. Okay, after that, I use maybe I use green color. Okay, so now I go to the bottom, right? So 5 you tie with -4, 3 you tie with 3, 1 you tie with +4, and last but not least 9 you tie with -3. Okay, after that you do your so-called calculation already. So you put a half first, then after that you put a square bracket. So remember just now I said that the arrow, each arrow represents a multiplication sign. Okay, so it means that, okay, so -3 times 3, right? So you just put -3 multiplied by 3. Okay, after that you put a plus sign here. Okay, maybe I just put another curly bracket. You will see why later lah. Okay, so next is -4 times +1. So you just put maybe you put 1 here, then -4. Okay, after that 3 times 9, right? So 3 multiplied by 9. Last but not least, 4 times 5. Okay, alright, yeah, so that is the first part. Okay, so there's another green color arrow, right? So before that you just put a curly bracket first. Okay, next you put a minus sign. So for this you put a minus sign. Okay, then after that you put another curly bracket. So 5 now it's from here, right? 5 times -4, so it's 5 times -4. Okay, next is 3 times 3 plus 3 times 3. Next is 1 times 4 plus 1 times 4. Okay, last but not least, 9 times -3. Okay, so it's always a plus lah, except for this part. Okay, so this is a minus. It's always a minus for this lah. So this is 9 -3. Then put a bracket, put a curly bracket, put a square bracket. Okay, so this is how we tie the shoelace. Okay, so of course you just calculate whatever that's inside here first. So here is equal to half. Then put a bracket, then put a curly bracket. So -3 times 3 is -9 minus 4 plus 27 plus 20. So then after that put a curly bracket. So after that you put a minus sign here. So another curly bracket. So 5 times, okay, so this is minus 20 plus positive 9 plus 4 minus 27, put a curly bracket, put a square bracket. Okay, so after that, you just use a calculator to calculate this. So this one is equal to half. Then put a bracket, negative 9 minus 4 plus 27 plus 20, so you should get 34. So this is 34. Then you minus away. So this one is minus 20 plus 9 plus 4 minus 27. So you should get minus 34. Then put this bracket. Okay, so you notice that here, right, minus minus. So minus minus means plus lah. So 34 plus 34, which is 68. So remember, there's a half here. So there's a half here. So 68 times half is 34. Okay, so the area of this rhombus is 34 units square. So it's always the case that this area is a positive area. If you get negative, means that maybe your shoelace you tie wrongly lah. Okay, so that's how we do